Alex from Tom's Hardware. I'm here at CES 2015. I'm at the Acer press conference and I'm checking out the new Acer ZenFone 2, which is the sequel to last year's series of ZenFones. At the press conference they only had two models to show, the ZenFone 2 and the new ZenFone Zoom, which is not on display. We're here looking at the ZenFone 2 and here it is in the sort of grey metallic finish. It is an all plastic back with a sort of faux brushed metal finish. It's also available in red, white, looks like a black, and they even showed some other models with some interesting color schemes and different textures to the back of the case. So we're looking at a 5.5-inch IPS display. It's full HD, so it's a nice looking IPS panel from Asus. It's powered by Intel processor. It's the new Atom Z3560, which runs at 1.8 gigahertz, and it's also available with a Z3580, which runs at 2.3 gigahertz. It's a 64-bit processor, so the OS is running is the new updated version of Asus's Zen UI on top of Lollipop. Because it's running Lollipop, it can take advantage of the 64-bit processor. As you can see, the new Asus Zen UI skin is nice and smooth, very, very fast. It has a very sort of minimal skinning, though obviously it does have Asus's own custom icons, and they do mention in the press conference that the launcher and the icons can be heavily customized with different themes and skins for your own preference. So it is an attractive looking UI. There are gesture modes they mentioned where you can draw gestures on the screen to open up applications. And there's also a few other features, like it has a mode where you can have a personal profile and a work profile, and even though it is their own UI, it still has a Lollipop and material design look and feel to notifications and some of the applications. Talking about the rest of the hardware specs, it has 4 gigabytes of internal memory, and it's the first phone to launch with 4 gigabytes of memory, which is pretty interesting. On the back here we have the volume control buttons, very similar to what LG does on the G2, G3 and the G Flex, though unlike LG, the power button is still at the top of the phone. So as it's a 5.5-inch device, it is a fairly large phone, though the screen bezels are quite minimal for such a large screen. This is my Note 4 in a big case, so obviously it's not totally reflective of the size, but certainly the ZenFone 2 is more of a phablet device. It has a 3000 milliamp internal battery, which with the Intel processor and Lollipop should give you excellent battery life, and they also mentioned that it has a quick charge mode, so you can charge the battery to 60%, I think they said, in around half an hour, which is pretty good. The other standout feature is the camera. It's a 13 megapixel camera on the back with an f2.0 aperture, 5-element lens. There's a dual LED, dual tone flash. They did mention that the camera UI is pretty advanced. They talked about the HDR mode being better than the HDR mode found on other competing smartphones. So, and the low light photography is also supposed to be very good as well. And on the front we have a 5 megapixel camera. It has a Gorilla Glass 3, which is what most of the newer phones are coming with. It's 400 nits of brightness, so it's a pretty bright screen. It supports LTE, Cat 4 LTE, and it supports a wide variety of LTE bands, so it should be compatible in North America, Europe, and Asia, though they did not announce what markets this phone will be coming to today. The most impressive thing about it, though, is the price point. The 3560 model, which is the 1.8 gigahertz model, will be available at $199 US. So that's a very, very good price. The one with the higher end 3580 CPU should be a little bit more. Maybe they didn't announce that price, but it could be around $250. So certainly if you're in the market for a phablet phone that's well made, good quality, but doesn't break the bank buying it, this $199 device from Asus, the ZenFone 2 is an excellent choice. Once again, this is Alex and Tom's Hardware at CES 2015.